And I was also on the Today Show this morning, and who joined me on Today's Show was the mom of one of our patients, Denise Mariano. Her son had a very heavy heroin addict. There's Denise. Thank you for joining us again. And you were so great this morning on the show. You're actually already tearing up just being here thinking about Michael. And we'll let you tell your story, because it's a story that's a cautionary tale. Michael is this great kid. He's a martial arts expert. He was going to college. And he looks fabulous and healthy, but lo and behold, what happened?
I guess just partying here and there, thinking he could handle his own, and where parties used to be beer and playing beer pong, it turned into pill taking, pills and pills and pills.
And I'm going to stop you. Pills, this is the first thing I want moms to remember out there, is that pills is ubiquitous. It's out there all over the place.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's in the middle schools. It's in the high schools. It's literally everywhere. In the beginning, first couple weeks, I mean, I learned this from him. It's hard for you to tell. They're happy. They're euphoric. They're having a blast. You can't smell anything, and they're functional. So it's really hard to tell. But the biggest problem is they get hooked so badly, so fast, and then it turns into they're taking it so that they're not sick.
And then people don't have any concept of how a young person goes from that to heroin. How did Michael make that journey?
At $30 a pill, and his addiction getting worse and worse and worse, obviously the monetary was just ridiculous, that end of it. So hence, instead of paying $30 a pill, it was easier for him to drive down to a not-so-nice place and purchase a bag, also an opiate of heroin, for $5 a bag.
And then he probably smoked it at first, and then he goes to shooting it eventually.
Yep.
It's again, cheaper, faster, better high. And the disease, guys, the disease drives that. It's not that Michael's a bad kid or had bad judgment or weak willpower. This is the illness. This is what kills people. How did you know Michael was in trouble? What happened?
He was away at college, and we just got alarming calls. When I say alarming, called every night, just wanting to talk to us, wanting to come home, missed us. And this was a kid who was like the mayor. Couldn't wait to go to college and play sports and have fun and go to parties, and called me every night, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. We would have 2-hour text messages.
Did he ever overdose?
He did not. He did not.
Thank God.
We've learned that most of the people, we've lost a lot of people that we care about.
In around your community?
Oh, so many.
Kids.
And most of which that were getting clean. And clean.
That's when it's dangerous, because they go back and use again at their
The
previous
same
level.
level.
That's enough to make them not breathe, because they're not tolerant to it anymore. Wow. It's very painful, isn't it, for a mom?
It's very sad. It's very sad.
Is there a message for moms out there?
The message would be to educate yourself, and especially if you have a son like Michael, not that he's any different than anyone else, but there's so many different faces, and when you see a child who does well academically, who loves his family, who is athletic, who does everything well, you're kind of blinded by it and say, not my kid, and that's the worst thing they can ever do.
It's always the most dangerous words I ever hear from a parent. Let's take a couple calls. Is that okay?
Sure.
Good? Okay, Denise is very kindly come here to share this story with you guys, so let's take some calls. Kelly in Kansas. Kelly, what's up?
Hi, Dr. Drew.
Kelly?
My mom is in a terrible relapse right now. My whole family's in recovery, and I'm in recovery for 7 months now.
Congratulations.
And she knows that she needs the help, but we just can't get her to step forward and take the help.
But
Would
Kelly,
you recommend an intervention?
Well, interesting question. I'm going to actually sort of put it on to Denise a little bit, because that feeling of helplessness when you have a family member with addiction, there's only a few things you can do. Intervention is one of those things. What else, Denise?
With us, I mean, we didn't have an intervention problem. I mean, our son wanted help. So it's a little difficult for me to answer that one, but
what does a loved one, we always tell you a loved one needs to do?
Oh, God, tough love? No.
Go to Al-Anon.
Oh, them, absolutely.
Go to
and
your
I'm a
own
big fan of Al-Anon
I know you are, but I wish you'd start thinking of it first.
Okay.
But you know, you're a recovering person. You're what we call a dual winner.
I thought we were talking about the person that didn't want to go and what to do,
well,
but absolutely the person that family, you need to go to Al-Anon, get the support. And help yourself.
And sometimes that changes your dance with the identified patient, and that gets them into treatment as well. Amber in Canada. Amber, you got something for us?
Hi. My brother is addicted to meth. He is in jail right now, and I want to know if there's anything I can do to help him when he gets out.
Again, you know, I chant this all the time to people, and it seems so obscure. I'm not making this recommendation the way I would say, hey, you need to lose weight, exercise, and watch your cholesterol, your fat intake. I'm ordering you to go to Al-Anon and get a sponsor and work steps. Your loved one's survival depends upon it. It's an order, and people don't seem to understand that it's a family thing, and they need to work on their own stuff as well.
Because we're enabling them, and I was the biggest enabler until I started going to them.
You were an enabler like every mom is an enabler. You fantasize that I fantasize about my patients dying too, because you love them. You want to, you're convinced that if you don't intervene, but you love them to death eventually.
I certainly did.
Well, no, you didn't, thank God. He's good. Michael,
Yeah,
by the way, Michael, let me, you will see Michael on the rehab show, and he's actually doing terrifically right now. He is the same lovely, brilliant kid you see right there. And he's always sort of been that all through his illness. But he's actually doing quite well right now, and for the grace of God, he will continue to do so. But again, it's a daily struggle. He has to take his treatment just the way a diabetic would have to take insulin. His family has to do their work on a daily basis. It's a cumbersome, difficult illness that requires a lot of management. Now,